Oh, hello, guys, and welcome back to the Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Yes.
It's so nice to see you guys.
It's good to be back.
In the summer,
I
make
know.
time for, work and
Growing
all
my
that.
Yeah, look at that. Look at the silver fox over there.
Gray beard.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's just
boy.
an old, wise
I take
gray
you so much
beard.
more seriously,
Yeah.
with the
That's
gray
hard to
beard.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's real hard to do.
Yeah, you're going to need to be like Santa level before anyone takes you seriously. Hey, well, thanks for joining me this
Yeah.
week. I missed you guys last week. Matt, I'm sure you have some stories maybe from taking your trip home to Missouri.
It was fun.
I just
Joe?
came back from Illinois, the Mendota Quarterback Club golf tournament. Saw my dad.
We might have passed each other on the highway, or did
Yeah.
you
Might have
fly?
passed
Did you
each
fly
other.
or you
Yeah,
drive?
yeah,
I
fly.
Oh, of course. Well, yeah, one of those. Yeah.
We have a great podcast coming your way. Happy Father's Day
Oh,
to
thank you.
everyone, by the way. Kyle RODE is
Yes.
coming back
Yeah.
to the mountain. Couple new coaches added for men's basketball. Oh, boy.
Stelios Zoutsis?
Zoutsis?
I think we're in the ballpark.
Stelios
Yeah, we're in the
Zoutsis.
ballpark.
Stelios. Coach
We're going to call him Stelly.
Yeah.
But Kyle RODE is joining us to talk about that decision, leaving the Austin Spurs to come back and join Coach McKay.
People
and
were
his coaching
floored. I was
staff.
getting text messages from people like,
Very
what?
exciting.
He's like a real assistant coach? Like, yeah. Yeah, he is.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed though. Like he didn't
Oh,
have
boy.
to work his way up the ranks or anything.
Oh, yeah, you
like,
think he should,
being
like-
in a GA,
Yeah.
eating ramen noodles.
Yeah.
You know, hey kid, give me some coffee from coaching. He didn't have to go
Yeah.
do anything. He's already.
Yeah.
He's already
Go
the
like
hot
coach
shot
it,
that
like
he is.
a new covenant for a year and then work your way
Exactly.
up to
Work
it.
your way
I
up.
think he
No.
has deserved
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
spot with all of
Absolutely.
his experience. We also have Darius McGee,
What a
sharpshooter,
show.
is back
It's an unbelievable
in
show.
the
What a
building.
show.
It's
Yeah.
an unbelievable show.
There is a camp going on, that
And we're
you'll
doing it
hear
at Liberty Arena
Yeah.
with a
Right.
camp going on.
at Liberty Arena, so that's why it's a little noisy. But they kicked us out of our studios
Yep.
once again. But we're making it work, and we're making it double the fun with both Kyle and Darius joining the show. Before we get to those interviews, just want to give you an update on nationals with track and field. Kellen Kimes, the first sophomore to ever compete in the men's hammer for Liberty.
Hammer school.
Hammer time. He placed 24th in the men's hammer.
Nice.
Paola Bueno placed 26th in the women's
Bueno.
hammer. So I think she was 16th. I think that's a typo on my end. Sorry, 16th.
Yeah, she just knocked 10 slots
I
off there.
know. What am I
All-American,
thinking?
right? Again.
Second team
Unbelievable.
All-American for the second year in a row.
Yeah.
Congratulations to her. And Allie Zeeland ran in the 1,500-meter semifinals, one of two freshmen in that race.
Wow.
So just
Yeah.
incredible in itself. She ran 4:15.88, ended up 11th in her heat and 23rd overall. So still
Wow.
incredible accomplishments by all three of those
Yeah.
athletes. So congratulations to them. We also want to talk a little bit about a football series that was added in the future that will be coming your way. Women's basketball has a pretty stacked schedule. What else are we going to cover? Oh, Hall of Fame inductees for the 2025 class. So we have a fully loaded podcast coming your way. But first, let's get to this conversation with Kyle RODE. And look who is back,
Wow.
who just couldn't stay away.
He's
he
back,
said,
back,
you
back.
know, if I continue playing in the G League, they don't have a Flame Central podcast
Right.
powered by Alcova
We did
Mortgage.
come to you at one
We
point,
did.
to be fair.
We did.
We came into the story
We
with
did,
you.
but that's probably once a year thing. This is probably what, every couple months.
I mean,
every,
you can
every
be
couple
a
weeks,
regular
everyone? I mean,
contributor.
yeah.
Yeah.
As much as you want. Yeah.
That's
Kyle
perfect.
RODE is here, and we are so excited to have you back on the mountain.
His name's Coach.
Yeah.
Coach.
Kyle RODE.
Address the man properly, Emily.
Yeah.
I feel
Show the
so
guy a
old,
little
man.
respect.
I'm so
I don't know
old.
why I try to host this thing. Welcome back.
Thank you,
How
thank you.
exciting is this? I mean, first of all, I want to know, like, how difficult was the decision? Because it's not like you weren't in a great spot with the Austin Spurs.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I mean, Coach Pierre is one of my closest coaching mentors, and when I heard that he was possibly leaving, I called Coach and just jokingly said, "Hey, I'll come train and help you with the defense." And it kind of sparked into a little bit more than that, and prayed about it, thought about it, and there's no place I'd rather be, and really feel like I can impact the guys being back. So it was an easy decision coming back to a place like this.
I'm sure Coach McKay, as soon as you said that,
Yeah.
he was like in the works.
All in.
Yeah, all in and getting you
No,
back.
he was great. There was no pressure. He wanted to make sure I was done playing, and but an opportunity to work for a guy like that and be at a place like this, couldn't turn it down.
Now,
Couldn't
when
turn
the
it down.
when the season ended for you, did you have thoughts at that point of like, do I want to keep playing or not? Because were you going to play in the summer league this year?
Yeah, so I was definitely going to do a summer league with the Spurs. Like we had already talked about it, already had it pretty much situated. So no plans to stop playing until this popped up.
That's
Wow.
unbelievable.
Yeah, crazy.
Now,
Crazy.
did you always know, like, when I'm done with basketball, I'm gonna coach for sure? Like, that's what you've always wanted to do, or was it like this just I don't know, and this just popped up?
Yeah, I knew I always wanted to coach, especially if Coach McKay was still
Yeah.
coaching when I was done. So he's got a few years left in him, but it was good timing to get back, and he's still in his prime. So learn from him.
You may have just extended his career a few years by you coming
I
back.
hope so.
That might
I
have just
hope
added
so.
a
Made
few
it a
years
little
onto
more
the end.
difficult for him
I
to
have a
try.
feeling.
Well, he may not know. He might shorten it too. About 2 years. I could have to.
So I'm sure everyone already knows, but last week's Flame Central episode was about Flames and the pros, and you. Just awful timing with this announcement, but I guess it's all about you, Kyle. We brought back your feature that we did when you were in Austin, but after Matt and I do an ad lib, and I said I will run it back because Joe always wants to do this when he calls something.
Yeah.
I go, Kyle Rode is going to be coaching here on the mountain, and then that day
We
the
shot
news
this
broke,
like
and
2 months ago.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, we
aired
didn't
it,
shoot
saved
it.
and aired it this past Friday. And it's
That's
like,
awesome.
oh, well, the timing, I guess, couldn't have worked out.
Yeah,
any
the
better.
dream is to be back here and coaching, and to fulfill that this early is amazing.
Now, you mentioned defense. I was going to ask, is that kind of what, like, coach is asking of you? Like, what is he, when he says, I want you on my staff, here's the focus I have for you, what is that?
Yeah, I feel like that will be a big role for me this year, just understanding it, have played in it, understanding the learning curve of it, just having an appreciation for it. I think that'll be a really main focus for me. But also, we got such a well-rounded staff. Stelios coming from Virginia, helping me with the defense as well, and Zach. I mean, Zach's the best personnel scout guy in the country. So having guys like that, I think all three of us will be able to tackle it for sure.
obviously with your experience here playing on the mountain and then going overseas and then playing in the G League, how much do you think that will help with this program and coaching these young players?
It gives you such an appreciation for this, I'll tell you that. Like, what we have here from a college standpoint, from a pro standpoint, like, I tell these guys, like, it doesn't get better than this, man. Like, it really, as far as the team, as far as facilities, as far as people that care about you and love you, like, no matter where you go, this is probably going to be the pinnacle. So I just have such even a greater appreciation for it than I did as a player. And I really appreciated it when I was here.
Yeah.
So
Not only was it bad timing because of the Flame Central episode, but Kyle Rode is also going to be a dad soon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Decided to move his wife all over the
Yes.
place while
Yeah.
she's been pregnant. How this is just must be the craziest year of both of your lives.
we're doing a trimester in a different city.
Yeah.
That's what we've been saying. We found
Oh
out
my
in
gosh.
Germany. We've been in Austin, Texas. We've been in Lexington, and now we're here. So I got her moving, and she'll hopefully be able to just stay put for these next 8 weeks.
Man, the
You-
spa
you-
gift cards.
Yeah,
I see that
you
happening.
owe her like
Oh.
a steady life for a little
I'm
while
reminded.
here.
I'm
Yeah.
reminded every day
Yeah.
how much I appreciate her, and so we will for sure.
Do you guys have any advice for Kyle? As with Father's Day yesterday.
that was Father's
What
Day
do we got for
yesterday.
the
Yeah,
dad
well,
to be?
my our branch manager in our office had a baby 2 days ago.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Right,
Okay.
little Sophia Christine Melder, and so I sent him. I said, Melder, how you holding up? And this is the one word. And Emily's getting ready to find this out real soon here. How you holding up? One word came back. Tired.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Tired. So be
Yeah.
prepared as a coach to slug a lot of hours and then be a full-time dad too. Be a little bit tired. But hey, it's all part of competing, baby.
Yep.
Don't tell me how rough the seas
Yep.
are. Just bring the ship to port, baby.
I love it. I love it.
And my advice would be don't take anything too seriously.
Got it.
Yeah.
Just don't take anything too
Got it,
seriously.
got
No
it, got
problem is that big.
Got
and
it.
Yeah,
Kyle
you'll
and
be
his
fine.
wife don't know what they're having, so they're clearly psychos.
Now,
Waiting till birth.
how
Oh my
different has it been? Now you've only been here back how long now? It's been
2 weeks.
2
We've been here
weeks,
2 weeks
right?
now, yep.
So what are you guys doing right now? Like what's the program? What are you involved in?
Yeah, so freshmen got here yesterday, so that's going to ramp things up. We've had camp every day since I've been here, it feels like, so that adds another layer. But just kind of getting acclimated, getting used to, you see it from a player perspective for 5, 6, and you were recruited here. So for the last 7 years I've been around, and now you have a totally different perspective on it, and it's been really cool. Big time learning adjustment, but I've been loving it.
One of the coolest parts for me of this past season for Liberty, it was after the semifinal win over Kennesaw State, or it may have even been earlier than that. It may have been the first one over UTEP. They were interviewing Caden Matheny after the game, and you may have seen this. And he brought up, we feel like we let Kyle Rode down last year. He's like, we want to win this tournament for him.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm like, who does that? A guy that's gone, not a part of the program anymore. They're still talking about you that way. How involved were you with those guys during the season? Like your connection with so many of the guys that now you're coaching. What's that connection been like?
Watching that team last year brought me so much joy. I mean, just their response from like the year we had, like, and Coach McGhee and I talk about it all the time, like to have the year we did my senior year and then to follow that up, like you needed to have a year like that to see, hey, it's a different level. And this is what it takes. And for those guys to respond like that was amazing. So I talk to them every day, and it gave me so much joy, something to look forward to. It felt like I was a fan more than anything. Like I was definitely more nervous watching them last year than any 5 years playing.
Is it true you sent them some scouting reports from
all the time?
So you were really
all the time.
Like
he was already doing it.
You were
he was already doing it
last year.
I'm sure you added that into your contract.
100%.
No, it's fun watching you on social media, and I'm sure it's just a different energy when you can't get out there and play. Is that going to be an adjustment, you think, for you on the bench?
A little bit, but like part of who I am is kind of having energy and juice like that. So I feel like I'll bring that to the table. But now it's a little more a different setting, so it's a little bit more formal. And
for most guys, when they reach the age of becoming a coach, like they're like, well, I can't do it anymore. Right? I mean, Coach McKay would tell you he can. Most coaches, it's like, the game isn't there anymore.
Coach is asking the Thunder and Pacers if he can play in the playoffs right now, so he still believes.
But for you, like, you're still in your prime. Is that going to be tough? Like, is it going to be hard to not be like, man, just step aside. Let me just show you what to do here. Like, is that going to be hard?
The demonstrations in practice, I'll be able to give him a more live look than maybe Coach can. And play pickup.
Let's put that on repeat.
And whatever. No. Coach can opt out. I'll let Coach be my point guard out there if he wants to play pickup with us. But
spot up shoot.
Let him spot up.
Spot up shoot.
Okay, so I know that you still have to coach these guys, so you can't like be too hard on them. But in our conversation with Darius McGee in just a moment, we'll talk a little bit about the alumni game that we want to put together. Would the alumni beat this current team and Kyle Rhodes?
For me, I would say absolutely. I mean, but it depends who we're bringing back. Like you bring a guy like Scotty James, Caleb, Darius, Talon, Blake, Shy. Like you're bringing some really good players right now back. But obviously, this team. Who's coaching our team is the question.
Matt Warner. Matt Warner's the head coach.
Listen,
coach is coaching the guys.
Listen, there will be no emphasis on defense. I can tell you that if I'm coach. We're running and gunning.
That's what we need to do. We need
maybe alumni's player.
Yeah, we need to have.
That's what I'm saying.
Love that.
If you, I'm telling you, well, let's get this thing working.
We can sell out this.
Oh my gosh!
In a heartbeat. We would sell at the Vines. I bet.
Well, you need to do the promo on this, and then we'll get the ball rolling. I'll talk to you.
I love it. I love it.
Let's do it. All right, Kyle. What else do you have going on? I mean, obviously it's been a lot, but anything else you want to add?
No, I'm just so grateful to be back. And there's no place like Liberty, and there's nothing like the Flame Central podcast.
Oh, it's great.
This is why we keep having it back.
Kyle, finish it. There's nothing like the Flame Central podcast.
And Alcova Mortgage.
Powered by
Alcova. You know the truth. You know the truth.
The coach, NIL deals are just coming in for the Flames.
He's going to sponsor our team.
That's right. Just promise me this, Kyle. Now that you're a coach, you're not just going to only give us coach speak. We still need to know that we can go and get the real thing from you.
Coach is going to watch this and he'll be like, Kyle, you should have said this, shouldn't have said this.
That's right.
So I'll get my lesson after this.
Guys, we just got to try to do well every possession. We're just going to take it game by game, get 1% better, and, just really trying to come together as a team.
I'm going to put in a request with Bill Smith that I do my halftime interview with Kyle Rode because I might get a little bit more out of it.
No.
Coach McKay.
That's so nervous.
Coach McKay being like, whoa,
that's what Coach K would always do. He would always send his assistant. He would never do them.
No, let DJ do that if you're going to do that.
No, I'm joking. Coach McKay, I love those interviews so much. I look forward to them. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on. So excited to have you back. You got anything?
Really appreciate it.
You guys good? All right. Thanks, Kyle.
Yep. Thank you.
Coach Rode. Wow. Coach Rode. That's going to be a little bit of an adjustment.
It's a big get
for
the Flames.
But I said it. Has there ever been a more popular hire in Liberty Athletics history? Like I was thinking about it. Like Hugh Freeze, that was pretty big at the time, but there were people that had I don't know. He's been out. Like Kyle Rode as the coach. Everyone's like, yep, I'm all in.
He's an all-in Flames guy. That's
Absolutely.
why.
He
You know,
loves
like
Liberty.
he loves the
Absolutely.
mountain. He loves Liberty. He loves Coach McKay. He loves the program. He loves the culture. He represents everything that is right about Liberty basketball.
and
to be able to get that to be a coach. And then I think the big part of this that you don't even see yet is his focus on defense.
Right.
And I'm telling you, the amount of intensity that he's going to bring on the defensive side of the floor, and the knowing the details of that defense, especially we've talked about this in the past, like when you bring all these transfers in and it's hard to get that to gel, you couldn't pick a better guy that to be able to help teach this thing. And then as this season goes, I think you're going to see Liberty defense, or Coach McKay's already known for defense. I think you're going to see it go to another level next year.
Well, when we talk about this day and age where there doesn't seem like a lot of like loyalty or a lot of like sticking with a program, like not only did he spend 5 years here, so he has that built in, now to give up his playing career that was going great. He had a really good year for the Austin Spurs. They wanted him back. To put that aside to come back shows you how important this place is to him. And then, are you telling me he can't be a great recruiter?
Oh, my gosh.
You go out on the recruiting trail and be like, not only did I live this, and I can speak from experience, here's what I gave up because this place is so special to me and why we wanted to come back. I mean, I think that's really going to resonate with a lot of people.
Hard to find a better recruiting pitch than that. And just not only his ability to communicate with recruits, but be able to communicate the defense. He's just such a mild manner. Like, he's not going to be yelling like I probably would and just like, what are you doing? How did you not see that?
What I hear in the office every day from her. What are you doing?
No, but
How do you not see that?
When you do, like, you're right.
Such
like
a moron.
You're an idiot. To have those, have those transfers come in, it might just be for a year and you got to pick up things on the fly. It just, what he's been able to do with some of the younger players in the past, just his ability to communicate, I just think very
He's
effectively.
basically a coach on the floor when he was here.
Right. Coach said that all the time.
Now he's just officially a coach.
It's great.
Yeah. I wonder if McKay really did give him like the space to make the decision, or if he like
it was like
sent
every day
him, like,
he's like, hey, what's up?
some reminders or like,
Still thinking about it? What do you think?
Yeah.
I like
Right.
the answer.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, another exciting thing going on this podcast is our conversation with Darius McGhee.
Unbelievable.
He's in the house. This is what happens when you guys go out of town. Emily Austin goes to work, lines up.
You're a producer. You're like a real life producer.
And
You
this
actually did something.
This is it's still actually a shock to me.
Yeah.
I paid Bill Smith a lot of money to set all of this up, and I wasn't in the office at all. No, I'm kidding. Well, let's get to this conversation with Darius McGhee. Okay, on this edition of the Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage, we are double dipping.
It's the double dip.
It's the double dip with men's basketball. Look who it is, Darius McGhee. It has been a while.
It has.
Legend of the mountain, they say.
Legend of
Did
the
you
mountain.
just come back to see if they'd hung your number up in the
No.
rafters yet? They
No.
have not done that.
No.
Despite all
Matt,
of
Darius
we have
Matt is-
said.
Matt is dead.
We've
We
been
fought for
clamoring.
that.
Well, I appreciate
fought
that.
for
I
it.
came back to see family and friends.
Okay,
why I
that's
came
a
back.
good option.
And
as
to see if my Raptors hanging in legend.
So great to see you, Darius. We have some breaking news because, the Flame Central podcast, whenever there is breaking news, you just hear it here first. You were with Germany the last year. I got to get this right. Hold on. I'm really good at pronouncing things.
Okay, let's hear it.
Telecom Baskets Bonn.
Correct.
And now you are signed with a team in France, JL.
Say it. What's that? What's that?
JL.
Where's it at?
Borg?
Borg.
Borg.
No, that's French. That was German. I did that in a German accent.
Yeah.
JL Borg.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
How
Where's that?
exciting.
That's in France. It's a smaller town per se, but everything that I've seen about them, they're like it's a lot of history within the city. It's a great fan base. The club is exceptional. Especially their leadership. They've shown winning very consistently upon these last couple of years. So that's a big indicator for me. You want to be in a place where they've been consistent. To me, you don't want to go anywhere where leadership is inconsistent because then your season, there's a lot of ebbs and flows. You want that stability. So it was a great choice.
Yeah, talk about that. You said your first year playing overseas. Like, what maybe surprised you about pro ball over there that you think, I'm just gonna go over and play? Like, it's just simple. Play basketball my whole life. What surprised you most about that experience,
From a basketball standpoint,
or just life in general?
I think from a life standpoint, it's just every other country is so close. Like we take it for granted. Being in the States, you can travel from state to state, and it kind of feels like you're in a similar spot.
Yeah.
But in Europe, you travel the same distance, the same amount of time, and it's a completely different culture, completely different country. So you get to experience a lot of different things. Like it's super easy access.
Did you
Food.
enjoy
Let's
that?
talk about the
Yeah.
food. Yeah. What's I love food.
See, you know, we've noticed a trend here is that ever since she's gotten pregnant, all she wants to do is talk about food.
I mean, that's how it goes. Yeah.
No, what is like the best food or most surprising meal that you're like, no way this is gonna be good, and it was just incredible?
I don't know if I have a food that like surprised me like that, but I was surprised. Like in Bonn, everybody loves schnitzels.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I had
That's
no-
like hot dogs, right?
I'm not sure
Schnitzels?
what it is. I don't think it's a hot dog.
Is that a hot dog?
I don't know.
It's kind of like.
We need to Google this.
I thought that was a breed of dog. No.
Oh, God.
What's it
That
called?
is a schnitzel.
A schnitzel, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, schnitzel. Like
Okay.
a hot dog, yeah, that was schnitzel.
Yeah.
Very well schnitzel, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a hot dog, Bill? Can you please
I don't
look
think
this
it's a
up?
hot
Yeah, it's a schnitzel. It's like
It's
a
a
hot
sausage.
dog. It's like a sausage,
Same
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, hot dog, sausage, yeah.
But like that was the first thing like people kind of like threw at us when we first got there. It's like you guys have to try
Schnitzel.
schnitzels.
Yeah.
So we tried them. They
Big
were
schnitzel guy.
okay. Like,
Okay.
you know,
Schnitzel guy. Now, Darius, here you go.
I'm
You know,
sorry.
Yak spelled J-A-U is German as it gets, right? And so my grandma growing up always made Pfannkuchen. Did you ever have Pfannkuchen?
God bless you.
It's like it's like a crepe. It's like a bigger, wider crepe.
Oh, I love
Maybe.
crepes.
And it's called Pfannkuchen.
I don't think nobody
Put
dropped the name on
applesauce
it like
on it.
that.
Oh,
but
apple
Put like
sauce.
applesauce on it, and then you roll it up, and it's fantastic.
It definitely sounds like something I've tried.
Yeah, you've
before.
had a few of those.
I'm not gonna lie. I was exploring with the food. Like I tried a little bit of everything. If it wasn't for me, it wasn't for me. But if I liked it, I would double back.
I love that. You just have to be open-minded. Okay,
sure.
let's get back to basketball. How do you think you grew your time over in Germany? What grew the most in your game, would you say?
A lot of people don't know. Like I haven't played point guard that long. Like I was mostly a shooting guard here
Right.
my whole time. So I mean, obviously with my size, I played point guard when I was younger. But playing it at a high level, like it was a lot of just getting familiar with like the pick and roll, different coverages, how to exploit it, the balance of being a scorer and a facilitator at the same time. So like obviously my coaching staff believed in my scoring ability, so they didn't want to take away from that. But I think they did a great job of like teaching me and making sure every day like I was learning how to be a point guard. So that was the biggest growth.
You get a lot of guys from different countries, I'm sure, that are on your team. What is that like internationally? Trying to maybe the language, you're not speaking the same language. How do you try to communicate with them? How do you try to build a culture with so many guys from so many different backgrounds?
I mean, in the locker room, it's easy to gain chemistry because everybody's cracking jokes. Even though people are from different countries, everybody speaks English. So
Okay.
it's kind of like being in the States and talking to somebody from California, Louisiana. Like it's just a different accent,
Yeah.
or they pronounce things a little differently. But being the American, like it's funny to us. Like, and they're all jokes.
Give us some German that you've learned.
Guten Morgen,
Guten Morgen.
which is good morning.
Good morning,
Oh,
Darius.
that's nice.
Dankeschön, which is thank you very much. Bitteschön is you're welcome, basically.
Okay, Darius, when you're over in
That's about
France, here's the deal. Because I played in Montreal, right? All French in Canada. But it's exactly what you said. So you're going to go out on the streets in France. You're going to be hanging around the town, right? And people come up to you and you're going to like want to say something to them. And you're like, they're going to try to talk to you in French, right? You know what you say to them? I learned this early in Montreal. Listen,
Oh gosh.
don't even try it with me. I know you speak English, right? Because they'll try to speak French to you the whole
Yeah.
time. And you're like, I don't speak French, right? And they'll keep these, like, just stop. I know you speak English. And guess what? Then they'll start talking to you in English.
It's
that
it's funny you
Well,
said that because like even in
I
Germany,
would tread lightly doing that in France.
even in Germany, like people will start speaking German, and I'll
Yeah.
be like, "Sorry, do you speak English?" And then some of them will just start speaking English, and then you see some of them will get a little frustrated, and they'll be like, they'll
Yeah.
just call somebody else.
Yeah, they
And
try
the
to-
chances are they probably do speak English.
Yes.
Just might be a little challenging, or they just
Well,
might,
you are
might be a
in
little
their
headache to speak
country.
English.
You are in their country, so I feel like if you have some effort, where if you say "Guten Morgen" or whatever in German,
sure.
like if you start trying to speak their language, I feel like they're a lot more willing to
Absolutely.
How about
Be
just grab him
open
by
to
the
speaking.
shirt collar and say, "Listen,
Okay.
buddy, let's start speaking
Again,
English
I would
here."
not recommend that.
That's how Matt Warner would handle
Right.
that.
I wouldn't
situation.
try that in the States. I'm
Yeah,
definitely not
yeah.
trying that over there.
Hey, I want to know, like, how much were you following this past season for Liberty basketball? Winning the conference tournament,
Sure.
going to the NCAA tournament. Like, were you able to follow a lot of it throughout the year?
Well, sadly, I'm 6 hours ahead, so
Okay.
you guys' games were at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. for
Yeah.
me.
Some
But-
some of the former players were.
But I would
You know,
like
making
tune
that
in and watch the
sacrifice.
highlights or
Yeah.
rewatch games when I could. Obviously, I'm still connected with this team just because of like I'm not that far removed. So
Yeah.
talking to them on a personal level, getting to know like Brett Decker over the year
Yeah.
and also this summer. So I'm very much tapped in. But it was a little difficult to watch every game just because I'm also in season and,
Sure.
and 6 hours ahead.
So now being back here for a little bit, and obviously you're interacting with a lot of the guys on the roster. You talk about Brett Decker.
Mm-hmm.
How do you try to be like, hey, let me show you kind of what worked for me, or hey, I'm a pro now. Like you need to listen to what I'm telling you. Like, how much do you try to like pour into these guys? Not overstep, but like
For
try
sure.
to be a mentor.
I just try to be a resource, like with my experience. Obviously, me and Brett, there's similarities in our game. So if he's ever curious and wants to know things, I just try to make myself like easily accessible to him, give him little pointers of different things that work for me. Obviously, he's taller than I am, way bigger than I am, so he has more advantages. So
Yeah.
just if he wants to, get some knowledge from me, I just try to make sure I give him what somebody gave me.
You
So-
said what worked for me was pulling from the logo. Is that what you say?
Yeah,
Like, what
pretty
worked for
much.
me is
He can
one
do
foot
it.
across
Matheny
half
got
court.
that.
Go ahead and let it rip.
He can do it.
He can do it.
Yeah,
do it.
Darius tried to slide in those tapes whenever Coach McKay's aren't in the
Yeah.
VCR.
No. Coach
You know?
McKay need to get rid of those tapes.
So now when you were with the Mad Ants, right, and playing in the G League, then you go over to Europe and play. Obviously, we always hear back in America like how different the game is internationally, and we talked a little bit about this off camera. Share with the folks like how did that change your game, and what were really the differences between American basketball and international basketball?
Like I said, even in the G League, even though I was like labeled as the point guard, like it's kind of positionless in the States.
Yeah.
So I was still playing off the ball a lot versus when I got to Europe, I really had to be the point guard and play point guard. So that was the biggest growth, but the floor is smaller in Europe. It's exactly the college floor here. To me, European basketball, obviously the talent, they're pros, but the style of play, the intensity is like a more intense Division I level.
Right.
Like from a fan standpoint. Like if you love how Division I teams compete night in and night out, like you would love watching European games. Like,
So
Really?
what does that do like for your style of play, or for like the type of basketball that you like? If you had to pick the bigger floor with more spacing or the smaller floor with more the teamwork aspect, what do you enjoy? What side of the basketball do you enjoy playing more?
I enjoy it all. I feel like I try to
Weave your way into everything.
make
right?
or train my game to be where it's kind of like seamless for either one.
Yeah.
But I mean, basketball is basketball at the end of the day. Like it's still gonna come down to certain possessions you're gonna have, the isolation, then you gotta make a play even in Europe, kind of how the American style is versus even in the NBA, you see guys like coaching staff, they're playing chess, mixing up coverages, calling different plays because they're trying to execute something to get an easy basket that's the majority in Europe. So you kind of have to have a mixture of both.
With all that diverse experience, how much has your basketball IQ grown since you've been here with Liberty?
I think Liberty was perfect for me specifically just to learn the game and conceptually the game of basketball. So now like going to Europe, there's a different language. Coaches they speak English, but their verbiage is different. They call different things on the floor. So to grasp that and quickly learn that, also from a business standpoint, for job security, like the coaches are going to put people in that they trust. So you want to be able to attain that knowledge as quickly as possible. So if you kind of have that prior knowledge to the game of basketball and really know the game in and out, it helps with that transition.
Talk a little bit more about the environment of playing overseas.
Very intense.
Yeah?
Very intense. So you have I'm sure you guys have seen clips of the European level where
Yeah.
EuroLeague level, where they're shooting flares, going crazy. But it's
How
very
big's,
We're
how
gonna
big's
bring-
your home stadium? How big's the stadium? How
it
many
was
people?
a stadium of 6,000.
6,000.
Wow.
Okay.
Very
The
cool.
flamethrower.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did anyone ever use a flamethrower?
We need to bring
You
the
might be able to-
flamethrower
I can bring it.
overseas.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I can bring
Joe's
it.
got a
Joe's
flamethrower.
gonna get
I will
kicked
say,
I
like,
have hard getting across
my
the board,
arena
but
this
we'll
past
try.
season. So this section right here, like I guess student section, like in my arena last year was standing only.
Yeah.
So like there were no seats. People, when the doors open, they would run in to try to get the best standing spot, and they would stand the whole game,
That sounds
jumping up
miserable.
and down. It was like
Yeah.
incredible.
Hey, obviously there's a number of guys from Liberty that have gone on to play overseas. How much do you all kind of keep in contact with each other? Are there guys that you're checking in on in different countries and even drawing
sure.
from maybe their experiences?
For sure. You draw a little bit of everybody just because people are playing in different like markets or regions of the world. Like Caleb has been in Europe, so that's been obviously the easiest one to kind of like gain knowledge from him and him share his experience and kind of lead me on a path. But you have Scotty who's in China, which is a completely different market. It probably works completely different than Europe. So like if you ever had offers or was interested, like that would be
Yeah.
somebody you would take. Georgia has been down in what we say South America, which is rising now. So that's a potential market for people each off season. So you get to really tap in. These are like added resources. They're just your brothers,
Yeah.
but these are people that you can lean on. Everybody's situation is a little different just because like teams may not pay all the time. So you get to hear different stories. So it kind of lets you know what to look out for as you're making those decisions and signing contracts.
Yeah.
But zero trash talk going on between you guys, right?
No, not at this point in time. Now, if we all came back and were playing, that'd be different. But
I think we need that. We need you guys to
We need
all
an
come
alumni
back.
game.
We need an alumni
That
game.
would be
True.
good. Take on the
Round table.
current team.
Could
An
we do
alumni
like an
game.
alumni
Oh my
game? And
God.
how
Yes.
you give me your starting five of Liberty alums?
Oh, they would destroy these guys.
I'm biased. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm,
give me your
I'm gonna
starting
pick
five.
my teammates, so I'm biased.
but they
Who'd you
have
go-
to
who
be
would you go with?
current
I know
international
which year
players.
teammate.
Current
which year?
international
Current,
players?
they can't be past. They have to currently be playing. Who you
Oh.
got? Caleb,
So it'd
you. We'll consider Kyle in there. Who else?
well, we can't consider Kyle. Kyle isn't.
Well, he just finished.
Yeah,
so-
you can't call it. Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't
Who's
get
your
it.
Okay,
five?
give us a five.
Don't worry about feelings.
Okay.
Give me your five.
If it's just a five
Matt's
to throw the
never
ball
worried
out there
about
and
Yeah,
play
there's
Let's
$1
against
go.
million
somebody,
on
Yeah,
the line. There's
yeah.
$1 million on the line.
I'm going Georgie Pacheco, me, Lavelle Cabell,
Yes.
Caleb, Scotty.
Okay.
Wow,
That's
that's
good.
a pretty
That's a good
strong
group.
team.
Yeah,
That's a good
they're whipping their tails.
Yeah, that's a
A
good.
lot
group.
of guard play, can do a
Lot
lot
of-
offensively,
Yeah.
defensively, pretty
Yeah.
solid,
Savvy,
versatile.
high IQ.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Scotty's been
That
stretching,
would be
shooting the ball at the five now. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
would
no
be
doubt.
so fun.
Okay, we
That
need
would
to
be-
we need to put
and we
this
got a
together.
little chemistry.
Yeah, we need to
It's
put this
not
together.
like we need to get everybody from like all across
You
the
would
world.
pack this place out.
Oh my gosh.
great.
If
That's
you
You
had an
probably
alumni
could
game.
make $1
True.
million on
Yeah, alumni
I don't know
maybe
about
so.
$1 million, but it
Powered
would
by
definitely be a
Alcova
pack
Mortgage.
Bill,
Powered
Bill,
by
put
Alcova
this together,
Mortgage.
Bill. Put
on,
out the
Bill.
release right now.
No, but
Now-
I will
love it.
say though, we like as far as our alums, we have had a lot of alums go and play internationally, and have done great things. I will say that. Like I'm sure a lot of like even current players aren't familiar just because they're still overseas
Yeah,
working,
that's
so
right.
they're not able to come back a lot. But like obviously our Liberty family is close, like so it's easy for us to see what the other is doing. And like I said, we have a lot of players overseas doing a lot and doing great things.
How much fun are you having right now by having these adventures of the Mad Ants adventure in Indiana, the German adventure, now the French adventure? I mean, I see a future children's book potentially, The Adventures of Darius McGee.
Wow.
I mean,
Okay.
we got to start thinking about after basketball
Yeah,
stuff. But
right.
right now, so just from a basketball sense and a living sense, and you're young and in your life right now, tell us how much fun you're having.
Man, it's definitely been a blessing just because, like, even in Indiana, like, I had an injury where I was done for the rest of the season, but, like, my bets on that team were great. Like, I was a guy named Steph Hicks, Craig Sword, Alfred Payton, Jordan Bell. Like, those guys, like, from day one kind of put their arm around me, obviously, because I'm 5'9", 150 pounds.
He's just a little fella.
Everybody just kind of gravitates towards me. But
Everybody loves a little guy.
they also taught me a lot of things, especially like from a business standpoint of basketball. Like it was a lot of like financial literacy shared, like people doing community work within their own hometowns, like all things that I aspired to do, like throughout my basketball career and afterwards. Like they've done it already, so it was easy for me to pick their brains, and they shared a lot of wisdom with me. So even now, like they'll shoot me a text, call me randomly. Like those are very much still my brothers. And in Germany, the same way. We were a lot closer in age. The oldest guy was like 28. The team averaged around 25, 26. But we were all like we play here at Liberty. Like, it was super fun.
That's so great.
We were a lot of potential with the team. Obviously, injuries, we kind of underperformed and had a solid year, but like we took trips after the season. Like, I went to Mallorca with 2 of my teammates, which is in Spain.
That's awesome.
So it's a very close group.
Let me just ask you this. Last thing for me. Were there any disc golf courses in Germany? Because you were a disc golf guy here, right?
I was, but I didn't bring my bag just because I was carrying so much from
Yeah.
the States. But I did say, forget where we were. I think we were in maybe Vecta, somewhere in Germany.
Yeah.
And we take a walk every time we get into our hotel. Like, we drop our bags off and the whole team goes on a walk. And we were walking, I seen a disc golf basket. It was just like a putting basket,
Yeah.
but I was like, okay.
Okay.
They got a little bit of disc golf out here.
You know, they held the National Disc Golf Championship right here in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Yeah, Bill was just telling me. Like,
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
very underrated sport.
Yeah.
I mean, Darius, you are so grown up now.
I know. He's so mature.
I know.
old
so
now. I'm 26 now.
experienced.
I
I gotta
know.
be
He's
a
like the
little
old
bit-
dog in the room right now. I love it.
Maybe since we can't get the former team, the alumni game going just yet, what if we had a half court or a logo contest between you and Katie Matheny? That would be pretty exciting too.
For sure. Caden is a great shooter. Obviously, we all see that and we all know that. I mean, basketball, I'm not going to bet against myself, but it'd be
No.
very competitive.
No,
Let me
you're-
ask
you're
you
a-
this.
I admire
Darius,
how
you're a
he
I'm
pro.
just throwing it out
You're
there.
a pro. He's
I'm just
just a little
saying.
college
I
guy.
lied. Last question for me.
I'm a big fan of how
How
he shoots the ball.
often do you think about the fact that you made a shot off the tower here at Liberty? Does that, I mean, like, do you
Oh, I
does that
forgot
come to
about that.
mind like once a day where you're just like, I did that. I really did. Like, that changed your life, I assume, the way you look at the
We
world.
need to run that back.
It did change my life, but it's not something that I think about every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the game of basketball, like, even with my teammates, I'll be joking. Like, I feel like if we're playing horse, like, I'm confident.
Yeah. You
Dunk
made a
contest,
shot off the
man.
tower.
But
Right,
any
yeah.
shot with the ball, like,
Right.
just throwing it in the basket, I feel like 10 shots, I might can get it.
I think about it every day. I want you to know.
Oh my
I still
gosh,
think
Matt
about it every day.
Warner.
Yeah.
Matt Warner, so your biggest fan. Darius
Yeah.
McGee, so happy for you. Best of luck. We need to bring Flame Central Podcast on the road to
France? Yeah.
We'll go
Okay.
France.
I'm telling you.
Joe,
I
you can
think-
tell Joe speaks the language
Yeah.
Oh,
practically
bonjour,
already.
monsieur. Comment ça va?
Croissant.
Oh, ça va bien.
I know one of you, it's a
Croissant.
9-hour flight. One of you guys are going to have the little eye mask on, sleeping. Like, it would be a nice little.
What?
Try me.
Don't even.
Internationally, I only fly first class.
Yeah, no, same
Filming,
here.
going into the airport, getting your, checking your bag. It would be dope. You guys should do it.
Oh my gosh,
Love
let's
it.
do it. I'll put in. We'll see if we can get it powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Yeah, of course.
Darius, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck. Can't wait to keep following your amazing career.
Thank you. Always good to see you guys.
All right, I got to clear something up
Yeah?
with this conversation
Okay.
with Darius. Schnitzel
Yeah.
is like it's pork, right? Pork.
No,
It's
Yeah,
basically
someone
like a
said-
thin. It's like a
Looks
thin
like
breaded.
a pork chop.
Pork chop.
Yes, like a
Not a hot dog.
veal.
Veal.
Okay,
We
veal.
were thinking of
Wiener Schnitzel.
Wiener Schnitzel.
Wiener Schnitzel.
Common mistake.
Wiener Schnitzel.
Common mistake.
Stupid American of me.
Yeah.
But that stuff
Stupid
is
American
so
face.
good. It's basically like breaded. I mean, anything that's breaded is pretty good, but it is so good with some mashed potatoes and gravy. Oh my gosh, that's straight up German life
Yeah.
for me.
When I was living in Montreal, playing in Montreal, we used to, whenever we do something dumb, like we'd be on the street doing something dumb, we'd start laughing, a bunch of group of us together, and right, we'd always make the running joke that the French would look at us and they'd go, "Stupid American pigs."
Oh my gosh. Oh, Joe. I could honestly
Yeah.
picture
That
that.
just hit me out of
Yeah.
Look at those stupid American pigs.
So great catching up with Darius. I feel like he's been gone longer than what he has.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been mature, but I just feel like we're talking to legit adult Darius.
Yeah.
Right. Well, isn't that? It almost makes me feel a little old.
I
There were all these
know.
guys that we covered for like their whole
Yeah.
career. Now, like they're real adults.
Yeah.
I
And
know.
It's like, what am I?
Yeah.
And making
You're
wise
getting old, man.
experience.
Finally say it to you, buddy. Welcome to the
Okay.
club.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Well.
The alumni game. If
We
you
gotta make
guys,
that
if
happen.
you guys are wanting that to happen, show us some love on social media so we
Yeah.
can get that in Coach McKay's ear. I'm thinking we make
Absolutely.
this happen in like July. Like I don't.
She's
I'm not
looking for
wasting any
dates
time
already.
Yeah.
That's
so
something that could be powered
Send me
by
your
Alcova
availability.
Alcova
That
Mortgage.
could
There's our
be-
first sponsor.
That's something that could be powered.
This
I
could be a
think
big
that
deal.
is an attraction that
I
would
love how this
draw
is
a lot of
all
fans.
happening
Live.
Live.
Oh, it's live.
As we're
Live
we're
tape.
just coming up with
Yeah.
it as we're just free flowing here.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's move on from the hardwood to the gridiron. Some football camps going on right now, but some news was released this past week about a home-and-home series with Louisiana.
Yeah.
It's a little bit in the future. The Raging Cajuns will come to Lynchburg on September 23rd, 2028, and then Liberty will go to Louisiana on 2032.
Okay.
So it's a long ways away, but getting a good group of 5 team. Keep an eye on Quentin Cooley. He's up there in Canada.
Yeah, Joe, what do you got? I heard you got some
Yeah,
inside
yeah.
info.
Quentin Cooley made the practice roster at Winnipeg, playing for Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the CFL, and there's potentially could get a shot potentially here sooner than later. So,
Okay.
and I just what we're hearing out of camp is he's done a fantastic job. Like I believe in the first preseason game he was MVP of the game.
Yeah.
And then my brother's actually the director of player personnel for Winnipeg, and so getting a lot of inside scoops on how well he's doing, and they are very excited for him to get his opportunity, and they think he's got the opportunity to tear it up and do really
That's
well.
awesome.
So we're looking forward, hopefully, to Quentin getting on the field here sooner than later.
Yeah.
Give the bowling ball a
Yeah, that's
chance
right.
and the rock, and it's over.
They said
They have a new nickname for him now.
They do. I didn't know that.
It's not the bowling ball.
No, didn't
Yeah, I
know
did
that.
see him
Oh,
called
dang, I don't
something
have
else.
my-
I can't remember what it was.
I will say this. So my brother told me that he had a pass protection during a preseason game where a guy tried to blitz off the edge, and Cooley lit him up.
That
Let's
will
go.
catch
He's
the
got him.
coach's eye.
He
Yeah.
said, now that'll help you make
Yeah.
the squad right
Yeah.
there. He said he caught the guy right under the chin and just destroyed him.
That's
Love
awesome.
So
Good
that's
for
the
him.
stuff that obviously they love. And so I'm excited to see Quentin.
Yeah.
He'll do great.
I
That'd
don't
be
think
great.
we can talk much about like what's going on with Liberty football, but it looks like they're getting some official visits by
Right.
some big time players. So
A lot of big
Yeah,
news.
yeah,
coming.
yeah,
Good
so that's
stuff.
exciting stuff. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the 2025 Hall of Fame class that was announced. Speaking of football, Mike Brown
Yes.
was inducted.
Legend.
Yeah.
Legend.
And is doing
That
great
one's
work
easy.
at Notre Dame now as
That
an
one's
assistant
easy.
coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy. And then, do you want to?
Alicia Finnegan, or formerly Finnegan, now Cardi, women's swimming and diving. She was fantastic while she was here.
We're gonna do a little story on her coming your way. We're gonna meet with her this week,
That's
so
right.
excited to meet her.
Erin Hagan, who now works in the
Oh,
athletic department,
wow.
but had a great volleyball career. She's
Nice.
making it.
From
go
men's
ahead.
track and field, Clinton Henderson.
Yes.
He
Great
was
guy.
here 2007 to 08.
And was the throwers coach until just a few years ago, and
That's
did great
right.
work as a throwers coach as well.
And then coming out of softball, Stacy.
Oh, you're not going
Man.
to say it? I think
Neil?
it's Radulovich Neil,
Radulovich.
softball. That was a little bit before I got here, but had a great softball career. And then our buddy,
Yes.
Jesse Sanders.
Yes.
Congratulations.
I have
Jesse,
been
that's awesome.
asking, like, why is he not in the Hall of Fame
Yeah.
for years? I'm
Done.
glad that he is finally getting in, especially with all that he's gone through with this battle with cancer. Really
He's
excited
doing
for
well.
him. He is doing well.
And then another, pregnancy brain. Another obvious one, Brant Tolsma.
Oh, yeah.
With men's and women's track and field, what he was able to do over that stretch
Built
was
that
just,
program.
basically built that program. We might be a track and field school. Still trying to
That's
decide
got
that.
to be the winningest program in the history of Liberty Sports.
I would
Probably.
say so.
Yeah.
I would say so. So congratulations to all
Yes.
of those members. I'm sure we'll do a little something on
For
each
sure.
of them. Anything else you guys got? Do you have any good stories from your
Well, no, but I do have a mailbag.
mailbag?
So we
Mailbag.
were asked, one person wrote in, I don't have their names, I don't have my computer with me, asked us, which football games are we calling?
I printed that
we
out.
wanted to know.
I printed that out for you.
So because it's all about us,
Look at
we
that
want to make
chemistry.
sure we let you know about that. So as of now, we're going to get the opener August 30th against Maine. That's a 4 o'clock kick. As of now, we would get the JMU
Let's
game
go,
on September 20th.
baby.
Hopefully that remains that way because we would certainly love to call that game. And then finally we would get November 8th hosting Missouri State as well, the Bears, which that's kind of fun for me because I worked
Yeah.
in Springfield for a few years. So that would be kind of cool. But so as of now, it would be 3. It could change to 2, but we for sure have 3 games that we'll be doing. We'll also be doing, again, for every home game, the Flames Central Game Day
Pre-game
show.
show.
Pre-game,
Ooh,
post-game.
Vegas back.
So that will be continuing this year as well, no matter if we're calling the games or not.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's exciting news. Hopefully I'll be able to join on some of those, or
We
I'm going to
shall
have to
see.
get one of those like really high end, like the packs, and just run around with her.
You could do that. You just have the baby carrier.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
You know,
could do
10
that.
days after having
Sure.
a baby. Let's
Maybe you can just be kind of, you know, like at game day where they have all the people behind. We kind of put you behind the pregame show desk, and you can be like just kind of waving people down and just make sure your presence is still a part of
This
it.
reminds me of the meme that I've seen that it's like the guy's sitting there touching his wife's shoulder, and finally she now knows. After she's given birth to the child, like now she knows how I feel when I have a cold, because men just have no idea.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
You don't get it because
I'm
okay. Don't mess with me like right
last
now.
thing, we had one more mailbag. A guy emailed in and said, you know, we have Joe's Yacht Talk segment. We have numbers that matter. They feel like Emily needs her own segment. They pitched the EA Sports, it's in the game. I don't know what that would mean in terms of what your segment would be.
I don't even know my last name anymore.
But that's like true. Yeah. Or I think we could do a Chew the Cud with Emily where you kind of like that could be
cut it up.
Sports, chew the cud.
Yeah. So something to kick around. But those were suggested.
What's wrong with hearsay with EA?
No, that is good. That's on the TV show.
That's
so
on the
yeah,
TV
check
show.
that out.
Okay. So
Hey, I do have one quick story that I can tell from this past weekend. Is I went to Wisconsin, right? And I was at my brother's place. I went to Wisconsin at my brother's place, and my nephew, Matt Yacht, came over, who is, by the way, he drives a truck, and he is a faithful. I said to him, this is like from 2 years, Matt, do you still listen? I'm thinking, no way, still. He said, do you still listen to Flame Central podcast? And Matt goes, every week.
Yes.
Right? And then he looked at me and he said, and I was promised a mug that I haven't received.
Boy.
And I was like,
get his
"Whoa,"
address.
I was scrambling fast. So Matt, mug coming to you.
Yeah.
I'll get you the address,
Yeah, give it to
Matthew,
me.
and we'll get that guy will be on the road with the Flame Central.
That's good.
Maybe
sipping
we
as we
should
go.
have some to-go mugs made. You know,
Ooh.
for
Hey, and if you want a mug or just want to be a part of the show, flamecentral@liberty.edu. That's the email address, flamecentral@liberty.edu. Send us any questions, comments, or critiques.
I told the guys a huge, maybe all-time missed opportunity was not including the Flame Central podcast mug and the John Gruden package.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Brad
I know.
Queen.
What are we doing?
Gosh.
that would have
Can
been
you
perfect.
imagine
Yeah.
That would've
him
been perfect.
pulling
He had
that
pulled
out?
out the.
Flame
He's like, who
Central
are these people?
And wow, what a
And then he'd
good-looking
have his
group.
little cue card where he's like, oh, Joe Yuck, you know, great receiver at North Carolina, played up in the CFL for a little bit. I remember him and his dad, Hall of Famer, CFL Hall of Famer.
And then,
Ray
and then
Allen.
they put up Emily Austin's card.
Yeah.
Speaking of John Gruden. Speaking of John Gruden, so I was at the Mendota Quarterback Club. They just hired a new high school football coach in Mendota, Illinois. We're doing the fundraiser for golf. I meet the guy, introduce the guy. So to the guy, we're talking along, and he said he was John Gruden's first player that John Gruden coached in college back at like wherever he got his start, Eastern Missouri or something like that. That John Gruden was his first coach.
Well, I loved his story. And if you haven't seen the video, Gruden did unboxing all the Liberty gear. Check it out. But I loved his story about Sam Martigliano.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Everybody has a Coach Sam impersonation. I've heard yours a number of times.
It's good. Martelli.
Okay.
Hey, Martelli.
I knew it.
Giving him the window.
Hey, Martelli. One more. Give me one more time, and we're going to send you back to Pennsylvania.
What is happening?
I don't even know.
We should be catching up with another former Flame basketball player next week on the podcast. You don't want to miss that conversation. So
It's summertime.
Stay
It's all
tuned.
fluid. You know?
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Hopefully, I don't know if we'll be back in the studios. Well,
We don't
stay tuned for that as well. For Joe and Matt, I'm Emily. We'll see you right back here next week.